education should start from a much younger age. A lot of the people that I do consent training and active bystander training with didn't ever really hear the term consent until they reached university. And I think that is terrifying, considering a lot of them were having sexual relationships when they were in secondary school. I think something that is really close to my heart, which might not seem that important, is actually turning on more streetlights in Leamington and Warwick. I know that a lot of my friends constantly say to me, "Oh, why are you walking home at 2 a.m.?" Or, "Oh, this person, she's walking home, like we need to call her, we need to go meet her somewhere." Or and often when people hear about girls mostly going out is, "But why are you going out so late? Why did you want to go out? Why did you drink? Why were you wearing what you were wearing? Why did you walk down the street that wasn't lit?" And actually putting streetlights on, as much as it doesn't seem like the biggest thing in the world, would change so many different lives.
We need education for children and young people on healthy relationships to bring about change at a much younger age. We need men in society to be upstanders, not bystanders, and to call out and challenge misogynistic language and treatment of women. At Crasac, we have a schools project to deliver this message, but this needs to be seriously invested in by central government on a much wider scale, as we find, as local organisations, that as our pots of funding end, so does the valuable work that has been carried out. Until male violence is acknowledged as a real problem and addressed seriously by men, change is unlikely to happen.
The impact of sexual violence is devastating and long-lasting. It can and does last a lifetime. And Jenny mentioned earlier the prevalence of sexual violence amongst women and girls. If you take the 1 in 4 women, it equates to nearly 80,000 victims potentially needing support in Warwickshire. And so because of that, SafeLine has worked really hard to generate increased resources to protect and support as many women and girls as it can. And just to give you a flavour for how we've developed, in 2014, SafeLine supported approximately 400 women with face-to-face support in Warwickshire. Last year, we supported 4,000, a combination of face-to-face and remote support, telephone and online.
Domestic abuse remains a forced priority. If you're not aware, that will include the coercive and controlling behaviour, stalking, female genital mutilation, forced marriage and honour-based abuse. A few statistics for you. On average, a victim will endure at least 50 assaults of domestic abuse before seeking help. We experience 35 domestic abuse incidents daily, and that equates to over 500 victims each month. 40% of all violent crime is in fact domestic abuse that we record. So this is quite alarming figures.
So this transparency needs to come in a lot of ways. First of all, universities could just simply publish some data about what they're doing. They could just tell us how many complaints they're receiving and what they're doing about it. They could gather survey data. So just last week, Ireland released a national survey led by the government into staff and student experiences of sexual violence and harassment in universities. The US did this 5 years ago. Australia did this in 2017. The UK still doesn't really think, oh, we need a national survey, we need to know what's going on. Because actually, unless you know exactly what's going on, you can't address the problem.